So how much alcohol was I actually drinking? And to be honest, I didn't always know the precise amount. There would be some nights where I would have a bottle of wine, so I knew I was drinking that, sometimes 2 bottles of wine. But often my drinking style definitely involved hard alcohol, so I'd maybe have a bottle of wine open, and then I would be pulling shots of whiskey when my husband wasn't looking, or I'd be making mixed drinks and just kind of free pouring in the vodka or something like that, whatever I was drinking. I was also drinking beer. It was easy for me to have a 6 pack of a 7 or 8% IPA in a night, and again, the hard alcohol or wine was always a part of it as well. Generally speaking, I was a daily drinker. I was a daily binge drinker, and so I would usually start drinking when I got off of work around 5 p.m. and I would drink until I was having a brownout or a blackout, or essentially until I passed out. And I was in this cycle for nearly 10 years. On weekends, I would typically start drinking around 11 a.m. and just kind of drink steadily all day long until I passed out. I used to love day drinking on my days off and on vacation. So basically, as soon as I had, coffee and water in me in the morning, I would start drinking as soon as I could. But like I said, when I was drinking a lot, I definitely was not measuring my drinks, partly because I just wasn't thinking to do that. Of course, there would be shame around it. I could just see the wine bottles or the beer cans stacking up. And I often had, again, the hard alcohol, whiskey or vodka or tequila stashed away. So, I would be drinking wine in front of my husband, but then when he went in the other room, I would sneak, a shot of hard alcohol or take it with me in a flask or something, just so he didn't really know how much I was drinking, so I could hide it from him, which is a struggle a lot of people have who experience alcohol use disorder. It was usually really easy for me to polish off a bottle of wine. I would sometimes open a second one, but again, because my husband was around and he didn't really have a drinking problem, it would be really obvious when I was opening up a second one. So that's why my strategy was generally to have a bottle of wine open every single night, but then again, I was pulling the shots of the hard liquor behind his back. And if I was home alone and my husband wasn't around, that's where my drinking would get really, really risky. Honestly, there are memories I can think of still that terrify me and make me so grateful that I even am alive and didn't poison myself to death with alcohol. But I was, essentially drinking really heavily every single day to the point of browning out and blacking out. I would have mild withdrawal symptoms in the morning, like horrible anxiety or heart palpitations or racing thoughts or depression, or of course, vomiting and nausea and all of those things. But I was a daily drinker. So I hope that answers your question about how much I was drinking, how frequently I was drinking. And I just continue to be grateful for naltrexone and the Sinclair Method for completely freeing me from this cycle that I was stuck in for nearly 10 years. I honestly feel cured of my alcohol addiction thanks to this treatment. If you want to learn more about it, you can check out my other videos or the link in my profile as well.